At long last, the 2024 Monster Jam season has finally arrived. This past weekend, we saw the return of Monster Jam to San Francisco. For the first time since 2007, 12 of Monster Jam's best battled it out for rounds 1 and 2 of Stadium Championship Series West on the exciting new track last seen at Houston, Texas in October last year. So without further ado, here is our review of Monster Jam in San Francisco. As a reminder, Stadium Championship Series West consists of Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger, Barry Musara in Zombie, Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid, Colt Stevens in Thunderoris, Kayla Blood in Soldier Fortune, Jim Kohler in Avenger, Corey Rummel in Megalodon, Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt, Joe Foley in El Toro Loco, David Olfer in Velociraptor, and Mike Christensen in Vendetta. The rain poured during the first show at San Francisco, causing some not preferable conditions on the track. In round 1 of racing, Bakugan Dragonoid defeated Velociraptor, Avenger defeated Vendetta, Son of a Digger defeated Megalodon, and Monster Mutt defeated Soldier Fortune. Already, we have a potential high jump competitor, as Camden Murphy just decided,
"You guys silly? I'm still gonna send it."
In round 2, Zombie defeated Bakugan Dragonoid, El Toro Loco defeated Avenger, Son of a Digger defeated Thunderoris with an epic save at the finish line, and Gravedigger defeated Monster Mutt. In their semi-finals, Zombie defeated El Toro Loco, and Gravedigger defeated Son of a Digger. The conditions continued to prove difficult, as both losing drivers would do the course the wrong way, going inside out rather than outside in, a slight change from what we saw in Houston. The final round pitted Adam Anderson against Barry Musawa for the first crucial points on the tour. In the end, Adam Anderson would easily beat Barry Musawa. However, Anderson's truck would burst into flames after the race. This, along with Kayla Blood, who was suffering mechanical issues all night long, would put the two of them out of the skills challenge. Speaking of which, the skills challenge was quite lackluster, not helped at all by the conditions. Camden Murphy and Ryan Anderson both performed tombstone moonwalks, however both failed to make it amongst the top 3 in skills. Even more so, Ryan was outright disqualified as the officials made the call that he made 3 attempts rather than 2, counting the failed bicycle and the tombstone attempts off the backflip. Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt finished 3rd with a bicycle in to save for his first move and a failed bicycle for his second hit. Corey Rummel had a great skills run, actually managing to pull off a moonwalk off the step up as well as a huge sky wheelie for his second move. However, it would be Barry Musawa ending up winning the skills challenge with a short slat wheelie and an even bigger sky wheelie compared to Rummel. Unfortunately, Freestyle 2 was somewhat lackluster, though at least it had some better moments than skills. David Olfert started us off with a pretty solid run and scored a 7.222. Up next was Mike Christensen. However, the pace was unfortunately not really there during his run, with the only memorable moment being this decent slap wheelie. Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt was on his way to a solid freestyle. However, an early rollover was an unfortunate end to his run. He did, however, take the lead away from Olfer with an 8.075. Kayla Blood's run was unfortunately marred by truck issues throughout, constantly stopping any flow the run may have been leading up to. She would not complete 30 seconds and thus not receive a score. The 2-time freestyle champion Jim Kohler did not have the freestyle he wanted to, only getting a few hits in before he smacked the dumpster and couldn't seem to refire. He did fill enough time to receive a score though, but this would put him at the bottom of the leaderboard. Barry Musara and Zombie would finally raise the bar in freestyle with a pretty awesome freestyle run with big air, a perfect backflip, and solid momentum. This was enough to put Team Zombie in the lead for freestyle. Corey Rummel, I would argue, raised the bar even higher, with even more big air leaps that included this crazy transfer jump from the landing ramp to the front of the step up, as well as a crazy backflip. However, the scores did not reflect, and Barry Musawa still leads. Camden Murphy had a very similar run to Rummels with not as much big air, but made up for it with the best momentum of the night and some pretty good transfers. Murphy's run was good enough for second place, as out next was the reigning freestyle champion Colt Stevens in Thunder Roris, who laid down a great freestyle until he got tripped up from this transfer and flipped over. From the moment Adam Anderson hit the track, he got the fans excited, starting off his run with some typical Gravedigger cyclones. From there on, the rest of the run featured some of the biggest air of the night, amazing combos like this one, great transfers, and a perfect backflip. Even still, the San Francisco fans did not think this was enough to trump Zombie, something that, in all honesty, I am completely baffled by. Last but not least was Ryan Anderson, who laid down a pretty awesome run, but in my opinion, it was not as good as Adams. The scores reflected, meaning that Barry Musawa wins San Francisco Show 1's freestyle and overall event championship. With an honestly underwhelming day 1 down, day 2 was next, and the conditions had finally cleared up and provided us with some great Monster Jam action. In round 1, Velociraptor defeated Vendetta, Zombie defeated Soldier Fortune, Monster Mutt defeated El Toro Loco, and Avenger would advance due to Colt Stevens rolling over and smacking the wall, despite the officials accidentally RAIing Avenger instead of Thunder Roris. Oops. In round 2, Gravedigger defeated Velociraptor, Bakugan Dragonoid defeated Zombie, Son of a Digger defeated Monster Mutt, and Megalodon defeated Avenger. In their semi-finals, Gravedigger defeated Bakugan Dragonoid, and Son of a Digger defeated Megalodon. The final round of racing pitted both Anderson boys against each other in an epic grudge match for crucial points on this series. Both were even to the final corner. However, a slight mistake from Adam Anderson gave Ryan Anderson his first win on Stadium Championship Series West. Skills was thankfully more entertaining than Saturday night, with some great skills runs from Barry Musawa and David Olfer. Taking third place in skills would be Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, who pulled off the craziest skills challenge attempt I think I've ever seen since Craig Champion at San Diego in 2022. Anderson tries to get the slap wheelie, but forces it up by throttling out. Not realizing where he is, he rides the wheelie up the landing ramp into the berm, which makes the truck pitch forward into a violent front flip. Second place would go to Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt, with 2 phenomenal bicycles into sidewall saves. Your winner, however, would be Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid. Murphy would have a failed first hit, trying to get a stoppie off the landing ramp, but he did walk a moonwalk up the step up, which was impressive. But, in my eyes, Chris Kohler should have won, as he actually had 2 complete moves compared to, say, Adam or Camden. Freestyle had big shoes to fill, considering Night 1's mostly lacking competition. Freestyle was off to a good start with Jim Kohler in Avenger, who laid down a great run, even featuring a backflip with a popped tire. Joe Foley finally got a chance to freestyle for the first time this year, as he had truck problems the night before. Despite the run being short, he still managed to throw in a great save, but broke the tire in the process. Unfortunately, Kayla Blood's truck problems persisted, and she had an identical run to the night before, though she would receive a score this time. David Olfer had a solid run with some big air, however truck issues would bring his run to an end early. Avenger still leads freestyle, as out next was Colt Stevens in Thunder Roris. The run was pretty spectacular, especially featuring this ginormous transfer into a save, which would end his run, but it would take the lead in freestyle. Chris Kohler would put Monster Mutt through its paces during the run, with an insane run featuring crazy cross threads, big air leaps, and just generally awesome momentum. Chris would take the lead with a 9.677. Corey Rummel looked to top his Team Scream teammate, and he too laid down a phenomenal run with incredible big air leaps, another insane save, and a crazy cross thread that ended in the truck violently flipping over. Bari Musauer laid down yet another heater of a run, this time with more of his big patented air. That didn't make sense. This time with more of his patented big air. A perfect backflip and a crazy ending which saw him barrel roll and land on the mini flip ramp, which allowed him to make the save. With that epic run, he takes the lead away from Chris with only 3 trucks left. Camden Murphy would lay down another heater of a run in freestyle with some of the best momentum of the weekend, including another barrel roll save, but this would unfortunately only be good enough for 5th place. Ryan Anderson was next, and he would top his run from the previous night, with again can only be described as typical Ryan Anderson. A great save avoiding the wall, incredible cross thread leaps with huge hang time, and even a butt kicker moonwalk. The run was action-packed from start to finish. However, the judges sided in favor with Musauer, putting Ryan in 3rd place. Last but not least was Adam Anderson, and he, like his brother, put on a ragged edge gravedigger freestyle. Though not as good as last night's run in my opinion, he managed to throw in an awesome transfer leap and some crazy Anderson cyclones. A locked planetary didn't stop Adam from continuing to throw down, but this was at a cost for his momentum and chances of taking the win. Musauer would walk away from San Francisco with his 2nd freestyle win of the weekend, but it would be Camden Murphy earning the overall event championship for the 2nd event in San Francisco. Points for Stadium Championship Series West are very interesting. Taking the top spot on the series is Bari Musauer and Zombie, who arguably had his greatest start to a season in a long time, although maybe a little aided by the questionable fan judging on night 1. Camden Murphy takes 2nd place with 56 points, as Adam Anderson and Chris Kohler tie for 3rd place, both with 51 points. In 5th place is another tie between Corey Rummel and Ryan Anderson, both with 45 points. David Olfer is off to a great start on his first Stadium Championship Series, as he sits in 7th place with 33 points. Colt Stevens is just a singular point behind with 32. Joe Foley and El Toro Loco takes 9th place with 26 points. Jim Kohler sits behind Joe Foley with 25 points. Mike Christensen takes 11th place, and Kayla Blood has a disappointing 9 points and so far locks out last position. Hopefully her crew can fix the truck for rounds 3 and 4 in San Diego. Event reviews in 2024 will feature a star rating. For weekends featuring 2 shows such as this one, both shows will receive an individual rating. San Francisco Show 1 had lots of hype surrounding it, and with the conditions it did not live up to the hype. The best competition of the show, freestyle, was unfortunately marred by poor fan judging. Added with the lackluster skills challenge and average racing competition, this show doesn't have too much going for it. With that being said, my rating for San Francisco Show 1 is going to be 2.25 stars out of 5. It was not the worst show, but it did not highlight what Stadium Championship Series West had to offer. Show 2, on the other hand, was a different story. Some really clean racing with an epic finale race, some great 2-wheel skills action in the skills challenge, and an all-out brawl in freestyle. San Francisco Show 2 delivered on what Show 1 should have been. Already people are still in shock over some of its best moments, with Adam Anderson's move probably going to be nominated for Crash of the Year, and Colt Stevens's for Save of the Year. I've given San Francisco Show 2 a 4.5 stars. Next week, we'll be covering rounds 1 and 2 of Stadium Championship Series East in San Antonio, Texas, which hopefully will be as action-packed as San Francisco. Make sure to tune into this week's news video for results and points for all other Monster Jam tours. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon with some more Monster Truck content.